Talk about courage. Whew. Oh my gosh. Bueno, buenas noches. Good evening. My name is Gabriela Ramirez Arellano, and it seems like all the authors so far, and I'm sure, have something to share with you that is a part of our heart and a part of ourself. So I'm going to share my story about my daughter, and I hope that it will inspire you. Since she was little, Marcella was a force to be reckoned with. I remember when she was in first grade, they were celebrating Mardi Gras at school. Because she always struggled to get up in the morning, I was always trying to find a way to get her up and on time. So I told her that we would only get those treats for her class in the morning if she was on time. Of course, the next morning, she didn't get up. And as we drove past the store and straight to school, she cried because she had promised her class that she would bring punchkis, the traditional Mardi Gras treat. During the day, I felt so guilty for not having taken her. And I pictured her little face, all upset, her telling her friends how mean her mom was, that she didn't have those treats because of me. But when I picked her up from school that afternoon, she walked out of the building with a huge box of treats in her hand. And when I asked her what had happened, where did you get the box? She said, well, since you didn't get them, I went to the office and I called my aunt. And she had brought them to her at school. Marcella always asked for what she wanted. She always found a way. Whether it was to get good grades, to go to grandma's house, even though we were in Michigan and she was in Missouri, to go to that Lollapalooza concert that was several states away, and go to law school. I admired her tenacity, and I often wish I had that gutsiness. She loved life and lived it fully. Marcella lived life in the dash. The dash, the moment of your life that happens from the time you're born to when you're no longer here. The dash, the line in the headstone between your date of birth and death. Marcella would send us videos of her dancing and singing for us for our birthdays, or even a middle of the night hello, without a care in the world to what she looked like or what she was wearing. And in the moment, that did not matter. What mattered was the laughter her message brought, the feeling of being seen and that we mattered to her. She was passionate about the unhoused and underserved. And when she got accepted to Wayne State Law, she was so excited about the opportunity to join the Black Student Association and mentor other students. She found her voice and a certain confidence that I am just now embracing. What hurts me the most is that she struggled profoundly more with many of the things that we all struggle with: a tough day, a conflict in a relationship, feelings of self-doubt. Have you ever felt that way? Feeling that the weight of the world is on your shoulders? Not being able to get past your pain and your sadness? I have felt like that too. The fear, the unknown, the weight of the world being too heavy and life being too hard. But it seemed that for her, it just hit her so much harder. Maybe because she was living life to its fullest. And it was so important, she just didn't know how to manage, how to come to terms with what she was feeling. Marcella's life tragically ended when she overdosed in September of 2021. But I have to take you back a little bit. It was just over a year before Marcella's death that we received a similar call. My son had had an asthma attack that caught us by surprise. He hadn't had asthma since he was little. And then in July of 2020, at 27 years old, he was gone, just like that. During that time, every decision hurt. But one of the hardest things for me was figuring out what my son was going to wear for such an occasion, his funeral. I had once loved shopping, but this trip to the store was against every idea of joy. His death just didn't make sense. And finding the strength to be strong for the girls, for myself, was hard and scary. and so much work. I have been questioning life ever since. Why? Why am I here? What could I have done differently? How am I supposed to keep living without them? There had to be a reason beyond the fear and the grief. And although I had seen death before, it had never revealed its face in my life that intimately. My son was gone, and now my baby. Once death shows up in your life, it's hard to forget it. You know, every contour, every dark stare, every expression of the pain and ugliness that it can present. And here was death knocking at my door again just over a year later, bringing with it fear and sadness and regret. But a life of sadness is not who either of them were, and it was not who I was this time either. So I chose to say goodbye with purpose, joy, and laughter, along with the pain and the heartache. I continue to celebrate their life and leadership and continue to honor their smile and commitment to change the world every day. Because leaders come in all forms. They're parents, they're teachers, entrepreneurs, and students. They're community activists, executives, educators, and friends. Leaders are those who are committed to inspire and impact and not to impress. They make you want to tiptoe a little better. They make you want to stand a little taller. A leader is someone who's willing to disrupt the status quo for what's possible in the future. It's someone who's willing to not always be popular, but always be on point and always be on purpose. Do we have any leaders in the house today? Yes. I want to ask you though, are we still waiting for all the skill sets so that we can be the leader, so that we can show up and shine? It's time to level the playing field. And it's not enough to talk about it or post about it. We need to show up consistently. There was a time when I really doubted myself, and I questioned if I could get this big dream done, to make a difference, to change the world. I was so busy asking other people, was it okay for me to shine my light? Was it okay for me to be who I was? We have this tendency to get overwhelmed when our dreams are big and we start to doubt ourselves. We have a tendency to not want to outshine others so we don't dim their light. Has there been a time in your life when you start dimming your light just to make sure you fit in? Just to make sure that you don't turn anyone off? Don't fill your dash with could haves or should haves. All of you, it's time to stop playing small. Your past, your experiences, they are not your limitations. They are your greatest asset. Each obstacle, each setback has been a lesson preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. There's a calling on our life, and it's so incredibly important for you to play full out, to fill your dash with laughter, love, and tears, because there's something that we're all supposed to do, and it's only yours. It starts the day you're born, and then there's the dash. And what lives in the dash is your opportunity to make a difference. And your dash is something that is your job. It's your job to dance with that dash, so take the time to make the time. My question for you today is, how will you make your dash dance? Your dash matter. How will you make that dash? By the way you listen, the way you inspire. How will you make your dash be unforgettable? I think about what I could have told or shared with my daughter to get her past the difficult times, the cloudy days in her life, to see what was on the other side. But there's just regret. There's just the what could have been. What she did teach me, and what I'm finding out, is that I get to decide. I get to celebrate Marcela's life just as she would have continued to live her dash, by helping others, cheering them on, using my life experiences, my passion, to make a difference for others. This is the life I have been given. Hers intertwined with mine, entwined with my son's, with our community, and connected with yours tonight. So today, let us step boldly into our purpose and embrace our unique journeys. Let us stand united, honoring our differences as strengths. And let us continue to write the story of a St. Louis as a place of hope, opportunity, and transformation. Choose how you will keep forging forward, and more importantly, what works for you. Choose how you want to live your dash. We are but one breath away from life. Each breath we get to take. Thank you very much.